Thailand's Crown Property Bureau, The Untold Story. Recently, some of Internet users might notice the emerging negative view on His Majesty the King's assets spreading through social media, both Thailand and abroad, especially after His Majesty the King has been ranked the richest monarchy in the world by Forbes magazine, leading to the urge to introduce taxation on His Majesty the King's wealth or even to seize said assets in order to serve people's interest. Such disapproval view, however, is contrary to Thai people's impression of His Majesty the King, which most of his reign devoted so much time and resources to reduce poverty and improve people's standard of living. Hence, facts and hard evidence certainly a necessity to understanding about this controversial issue. And here are some interesting points concerning said topic. The following facts and numbers have been derived from the Crown Property Bureau or CPB and concerning laws and legislation which open to public. 1. Crown property is not His Majesty the King's property. Crown's property, which includes various types of assets such as cash deposit, real estate, investment revenue, and valuable arts and artifacts, is the property of the sovereign on the throne, not the personal wealth of His Majesty the King, and could neither use freely nor inherited to His Majesty's heir. Crown property's wealth has been accumulated since Jaggi dynasty has been established in 1782 by King Rama I, and had been transferred to state ownership after absolute monarchy in Thailand ended in 1932 during the reign of King Rama VII. Crown Property Bureau acted as an agent or trust fund manager to manage the Crown's property assets for the public interest, while the monarchy has the representatives in administration board, which chaired by Minister of Finance. Nevertheless, some benefits from the Crown property also provided to His Majesty the King for our personal expenses. And this is the point that confused the media, who not separated these two different kinds of property and led to widespread misunderstanding. 2. His Majesty the King did pay the personal income tax. Though the Crown Property Bureau itself is tax exempt like any other government agencies, its revenue from any kinds of investment is liable for corporate income tax, and personal property of His Majesty the King also liable for personal income tax too. 3. Transparency of the Crown Property Bureau's management. There is a long-time agreement that the Crown Property Bureau has been lack of transparency and demanded more accessible information in the same fashion as the UK Crown Estate, which regularly report its operation and objectives, that is to reserve historic sites and invest in energy sector. As a matter of fact, the Crown Property Bureau has already published an annual report to declare its operation and management in detail, which public can access through website www.crownproperty.or.th. 4. His Majesty the King and the luxurious lifestyle. Some people might mention the expensive royal automobiles as an evidence of the affluent lifestyles of the world's wealthiest monarchs. But contrary to that belief, most of that vehicles have been offered to His Majesty the King as a present, not acquired by the royal household itself. At the same time, the Chilada Royal Villa in Bangkok, which His Majesty the King resided for more than 40 years, held a large area of experiment paddy fields, dairy farm, and fertilizer workshop in order to apply its know-how to royal agriculture projects all over the country, which is not common among any other monarch and quite not a luxurious lifestyle for any standard. 5. Historic Preservation Project is also supported by the Crown Property Bureau. Some might think that historic preservation should be the responsibility of Department of Religious Affairs or Department of Fine Arts, not the Crown Property Bureau. However, many projects of this agency have been financially supported by the Bureau, especially the restoration projects for the temples with cultural or historical significance all over the country. since to promote and support cultural heritage is one of the Bureau's social responsibility and also traditionally the monarchy's obligation. Meanwhile, the Bureau also has a pilot project to introduce multimedia presentation sets in some temples to make cultural and historical content more accessible for young generation. 6. Public property has been funded by the Crown Property Bureau. The Crown Property Bureau does not manage its assets solely for business purpose, but also for public interest. For example, a number of the Bureau's estates have been altered into public parks to increase green area in the metropolitan Bangkok, and the old office building on Ratchadamnern Avenue in downtown Bangkok has been renovated into Ratanakosin Exhibition Hall. 7. The Crown Property Bureau also leases its estate for public interest. The estate under Crown Property Bureau's management have been divided by its objectives into rent-seeking and social benefit purpose. For many decades, the large part of CPB's land in downtown Bangkok and other provinces have been leased at very low rates, few hundred baht per year, to support low-income households. Even rental itself has been used to improve standard of living in their own communities. Even public places like the United Nations building and National Police headquarters in Bangkok also lease its land from CPB far under market price. 8. The Crown Properties Bureau established a subsidiary company to manage its assets, which is liable for corporate income tax like any other business, and invested in blue chip stocks which generated around 90% of the Bureau's income, while another 8% came from asset rental and land lease revenue. In other words, the Crown Property Bureau has been managed like a private sector for efficiency, but its objectives are public interest and social benefit. Nevertheless, many projects and activities for public interest which supported by the Bureau, like education, culture, etc., have been mistaken as the work of government agencies or local administration since the Bureau's support is not advertised. Some years ago, when Her Majesty the Queen has been asked why Royal Project bought the product from Hill Tribe people higher than market price, Her Majesty replied that if we do not, they could return to opium growing business again. Sometimes we have to lose in the first place to gain more greater benefit in return. This situation is a good example to reflect organization's philosophy of the Crown Property Bureau.
รักที่ยิ่งใหญ่และยืนยงคือรักจากองค์เหนือหัวของไทย
รักไพร่ฟ้าทั่วเขตขานทุกอย่างท่านทรงห่วงใยในจิตใจเรารับรู้ได้ทุก